Congratulations on buying your first house. Here's your packet.
Okay, perfect. So my payment for the next at least 12 months is going to be 2150.
Yeah, it's 2149, but you can round up.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So here's your escrow analysis for the last year. You do have a shortage of $5,212.
What do you mean a shortage of $5,212?
It means you paid that amount under what you were supposed to pay last year.
Do you remember when I was here last year and I asked you if my payment was $21.49?
Yes, of course I remember. That's the amount that you were supposed to be paying.
So you gave me the wrong amount to pay per month?
Nope. $21.50 was the correct amount, and that's the amount that you should have been paying.
Okay, so you told me $21.49. I paid $21.49. And now you're telling me that I'm short $5,000.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right.
I need you to explain it because I just asked you if you told me the wrong amount and you said no.
But I didn't give you the wrong amount. I gave you the right amount, $21.49.
So you told me pay $21.50. I paid $21.50. You're telling me even now that that's the correct amount that I was supposed to be paying last year, but somehow I have a shortage of $5,000. So I should have been paying more per month than the $21.50 that you told me.
It's like you're finally getting it.
Why didn't you tell me that I was supposed to be paying more than $21.50?
Because $21.50 is the amount that you're supposed to be paying.
Okay. So what can I do about this? Because I can't pay $5,000 just in the blink of an eye like that.
Understandable. If you can't pay by April 1st, then your monthly payment will just go up to $2,900.
So if I don't pay the $5,000 by April 1st, my monthly payment goes from $2,150 to $2,900?
Exactly. That's exactly right. Again, you're getting it.
Yesterday was my 3-year anniversary of becoming a home borrower. I borrowed this house from the bank 3 years ago, and I hate it. And some people are asking me why. Why do you hate it? Because I can't afford it. I can't afford this house. When I borrowed the house, I could afford it, and the bank insured that. Since then, though, when I borrowed this house, my homeowner's insurance was $1,323 a year. Today, 3 years later, my homeowner's insurance is $2,654 a year. That is a little over $100 increase, which is added to my payment. Now, I know a lot of people will say crap like, oh, well, if you buy a house, your mortgage will be cheaper than your rent. Sure, if I were to rent a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, my rent would be a lot more than my principal and interest on this house. However, I'm escrowed, so it doesn't fucking matter because I have to pay principal and interest, my property taxes, and my homeowner's insurance monthly. So I know some people will usually say like, oh, my mortgage increased by $200 this year. Yes, we're not actually referring to the mortgage, which is the principal and interest amount. We're referring to the overall payment that we have to submit to the bank every month. It's not actually the mortgage. We know that, but we're in escrow. We don't have a choice. So it's the mortgage payment that we're paying. When I signed up for this fucking house, I signed up to pay $1,800 a month. I'm closer to $2,200 now in 3 years. That's a lot of money. And it's only going to continue to increase. And that's kind of my issue with this right now, because I'm at a point where I'm like, this is actually no different than renting. The only difference is that I don't have a landlord that I can call when my fucking toilet overflows or, when the basement floods or whatever the fuck happens. I don't have that option, of course. And we all know that going into home ownership. Like, I had the savings for that. It was, I was fully aware of that. But everything is increasing. And we all know that too. Like, everything, the cost of living is increasing. And I can't afford this house. I hate it. But I can't, it's like, I'm probably not going to go back to renting because I invested over $30,000 into living here for upfront costs, not referring to how much I've paid in my mortgage and all that. But I'm a single mom. And regardless of me being a single mom, I make a decent living. Like, there are people in joint households, two-parent households, who make less than me or make as much as me, and so it's really not the single mom aspect that I'm referring to in terms of financially. It's more so it's too much for me to do on top of being a mom and on top of working full-time. Like, we all know what comes with being a single parent. So for me, it's just like, it's too much. Life is lifing though. Like, I don't know. I got sucked into the world of, oh my God, I want to get married. I want to buy a house. I want to do this. It's like, I let society tell me that's what I wanted, but when I got it, I don't want it. And I hate that for me. Because it took me a little too long to realize what I actually wanted for my life and not what I thought I wanted for my life, because society makes it seem like we should want certain things. I don't like being a homeowner. I don't like it. And I don't care about, oh, well, when you pay your house off in 30 years. I don't care about that. Because the end goal for me is just making sure I have some place to come home to, have a roof over my head. And like I said, this shit isn't mine. Whether I'm renting or borrowing or owning, it's not mine. It's not ours. Like, it can be taken away regardless. I'm depressed. I'm depressed. I'm just waiting to see what I think it's gonna. I'm stuck. I feel stuck. I'm depressed. I feel stuck. I feel lost. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. My rant is over for today.
Let me tell you the cons of home ownership that nobody seems to talk about. Everybody talk about the pros. Let me go ahead and tell you some cons right quick. Something break, it's on you. Taxes, it's on you. Maintenance and repair, it's on you. Less flexibility. Yep, you just can't up and move when you want to because you behind on something. You trying to run from a bill. You just can't up and move like you want to. It's on you. Risk of depreciation of the house, just like a car. It's on you. It's yours. It's on you. Risk of foreclosure. Yep, it's on you. Unexpected repairs and problems. Yeah, it's on you. It's on you. But that man up above got you. Remember that. Anything go wrong, call on that man upstairs.
Things I wish I knew before buying a house. As a first generation homeowner, there are so many things that I feel like we were unprepared for when buying our house. So let's go over all the pros and cons so far. The pro, obviously, you own your own house. Such an accomplishment. We feel so fortunate. I want to reiterate, I am so happy that we made this decision. However, the list of things that we now need to do for the house is like this long and keeps growing. And each item on that list costs money. In case you forgot, I am 23 weeks pregnant. So that does complicate some things when it comes to just DIYing our house. So a current con, since my husband and I both work full-time and we're not handy people, we basically have to hire somebody to do everything that we need done in our house. We want to paint the interior of our house before the baby is born. Before anyone tells me that we should do it ourselves, our ceilings in our main living room are 20 feet tall. So far, I've gotten 3 different painting quotes back, and they range from $7,000 to $15,000. Another con is just my basic knowledge of anything home related, electrical, plumbing, sprinklers. You know, just trying to figure out all that basic stuff at the same time. Another con is just because you buy a house doesn't mean you can afford to furnish it, so our house will be empty for a while. I think overall owning a house marks a pivotal point in my adulthood that I was not entirely confident in entering. So there are definitely some growing pains. Luckily, my husband is incredible and he supports all of my visions. We just need to hire somebody to make those visions come to life. And that costs money, which we just spent on the house. So anyone wanting to buy a house, maybe go to like a handyman boot camp prior to buying that house. And if you find one, let me know so I can go with you.
I'm currently on the side of TikTok where everyone is complaining about homeownership, saying that it's a scam, saying that it's the worst thing that's ever happened to them. And as a homeowner myself, I feel the need to say something that some people might not like, but that may be helpful to other people who are considering homeownership. If you want a fun and seamless homeownership experience, homeownership is only fun if you buy a home that is within your means or well below your means so that it doesn't drastically change the quality of life that you're used to. When I say living within your means or below your means, I say that because things in a home will break. Things will need to be replaced. You will need to add things. You will need to renovate things. So if you're living below your means or within your means, you're gonna have that extra money to fix these things because everything is expensive to fix. Take, for example, myself and my husband. We were pre-approved for a certain amount. We decided to take out a loan for a significantly lower amount, almost half of what they had approved us for, and we decided to buy a condo instead of a single family home as our first home. Reason being is, first off, we didn't have an all cash offer that we could put down, and the Bay Area housing market is super competitive, so we knew we couldn't stand a chance with investors. Second of all, we wanted to lock in a super low interest rate back in 2022. So we were able to lock in a 3% interest rate. So we thought we need to get something rather than nothing at this point. So what we were able to get was a condo instead of a single family home. Third of all, we like to spend our free time traveling, experiencing things, going to concerts, going to music festivals. We don't have kids, we don't have pets. So we just like to be outside of our house a lot. And we figured, why not live somewhere where we can still afford to do all those things, but have a set mortgage that we don't have to worry about, like our rent going up or going down, and we're investing our money in something, and we're still able to keep the quality of life that we're used to. So for all the people considering homeownership who are being bombarded with all this negative discourse around homeownership, just know that if you're being smart about it and you're crunching numbers and you have your down payment or you have an all cash offer and you feel like you're ready to buy, just go for it if it's within your means and if it's attainable. You're setting yourself up for generational wealth, you're setting your kids up for generational wealth, and overall it's not as bad as people make it out to be if you are smart about it.
Maturing is realizing that America is a scam and we being ripped off and nobody doing nothing about it. My mama, she turned 53 a few days ago. My stepdaddy, he gonna be 58 in September. They still don't own their own house. Now, they did make some mistakes with their finances in the past, but it's so hard for them now, right? So I get on here and I'm scrolling. I see a girl, she probably like my age. Y'all, this girl done brought her some land. She live in Costa Rica. This girl brought like acres upon acres of land. And it's beautiful. And she said she didn't need no credit check. And she didn't need a lot of money. Okay. I seen another girl. I came on here and I seen another girl. She around my age as well. She's living in Italy. Y'all, this girl bought her a big, beautiful home. It's a fixer-upper. But she owns that home and the land around it. And it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And I'm just thinking to myself, why does America make things so hard? Like, all of this is a ripoff. All of this is a scam. Why is it so hard to own a house? Why is it so hard to get land? Why you gotta go credit check after credit check? And why do you have to save all this money? Why do you have to find the right bank? It's like a whole list full of stuff that you gotta do just to own the house, just to own some land. We being ripped off. We being scammed. And I've been saying that for the longest. Once I get my income flowing, get my income right online, I'm out of here. I'm not living in America. I'm not staying here. I've been saying that for years upon years now. I'm gone. I'm finna go because this American way of life, of living, y'all can have it. I don't want it. Because you got to do all of that just to have a decent life, just to have the basics. You got to do all that stuff. Like, who? We being ripped off. We being scammed. And my parents not perfect. You know, they made mistakes with their finances in the past. But that's not the point. It shouldn't take all of that just to own a house. Just to own some land. Just to get some property under your name. America makes all this stuff difficult, and it's like you taking a pop quiz. I'm out of here. You can stay if you want to, but I'm out of here. Thank God I have learned a way that I can make honest money online. I started selling digital products online consistently, and I'm going to use that as my income to get the heck out of here. I'm out. I'm gone. You can stay if you want to. Oh, by the way, if you want to start selling digital products online, but you don't know where to start, I got you. Comment me underneath, and I'm going to send you a DM. I just had to put my 2 cents in on that.
Not even a full week into homeownership, and I'm already $2,000 to $3,000 in the hole, y'all. I don't even have a couch yet. So about 2 or 3 days ago, I'm in the middle of washing my hair in the shower, and the water is just freezing cold. So I literally have to get out, boil water so I can wash the soap out of my hair. Just had a plumber come today, and he's tinkering, checking. He's like, yeah, your hot water heater is 13 years old. We recommend changing it at 10 years. So he gives me a quote, different quotes for about $2,000 to $3,000. Before I had the plumber come out, I went on Google University, and I pressed the reset button. I'm trying to do all this, and nothing worked. So when he gives me this quote, I'm like, okay, literally, this is it. It's $2,000 to $3,000. And so as soon as he leaves, I'm like washing a coffee cup or something, and the hot water turns on. So I run upstairs, I check the sink, and I check the shower, and the hot water is back on. And I'm like, what should I do? Should I shell out this $2,000 to $3,000, or should I see if it will go away, if the problem will go? Homeowners, please help me. Plumbers, please help me. Tell me what I should do, because I don't know if this is a lady at the car dealership situation where he's just trying to raise the price on me or something like that, or if it's just do it now, just shell out that $2,000, which is my entire cushion. So please help me.
My mortgage has gone up another $200. So over the last 3 years, my mortgage continues to increase $200. So over the last 3 years, my mortgage has gone up $600. And it's shocking. It is very shocking because I don't feel like people talk about this. People are all, often glamorizing homeownership, but not really talking about the reality of home ownership in today's economy. So not only has my mortgage gone up, my HOA continues to increase every year. And it's just all shocking. It is all shocking because I feel like it's not spoken about. I live in South Florida. And so I guess this is something I'm going to have to get used to because everything is sky high here. The property taxes are high. The cost of living is high. And so I guess it's something that I need to prepare for every year because it's just expensive to live here. But a lot of times when you think that you're buying a house, you think that you're going to have this set rate and that you're good and you won't have to you won't experience any increases like you would if you were renting. But reality check, you will experience some increases, especially depending on where you live at.
So I just wanted to make this video to bring awareness around the situation that your mortgage payment can and will increase. And that if you are thinking about buying a house, like, make sure you go into the process being fully informed and aware of what you are signing up for.
Okay, y'all. Who told me to buy a house? Who told me to buy a house? I, as a realtor, can tell you what to expect at closing, how to prepare your house to get it sold and for the best price. Talk about interest rates, all of that. I can give you the ins and outs. But actual home ownership, that's another freaking beast. And you'll only know that when you're a homeowner. So when I first bought this house, I got a rude awakening that the land was actually bigger than I thought it was. And this particular tree belonged to me. And I had to cut it down $2,000 later. Now I find out that I have freaking wasp. There's a wasp issue. And how did I find it out? I just got stung by 2 of them trying to do some yard work. $500 later to call in a pest control service, and probably will need continued service for an additional monthly amount. Homeownership is no joke, y'all. It is no joke. Oh, yeah. Happy Saturday.
Like, I didn't know that when I was building a home that I was just gonna have to pay taxes off the land, and then when the home is actually built, then you gotta pay taxes on the actual home and the land, which increased my mortgage by $3,000. I didn't know that. So now my mortgage is increased by $3,000 from what I'm currently paying. You know, and plus you still got all these other expensive and stuff like that. I don't knock buying a home. I think the goal should always still buy a home, but you should be prepared to know what's to come. Like I say, if they would have told me like, hey, your tax is going to be based off of this number instead of this number in a year, no, that wouldn't have changed my decision. I still would have moved forward. But if they would have told me that, I would have been prepared and not, you know, look in the mail and be like, bro, who this for? You feel me? Who is this for? I know y'all ain't trying to increase my mortgage. And then the thing like that is like, you know, it's aggravating, because it's like, bro, you think I'm just about to allow you to bully me? I feel like I'm like y'all trying to bully me. Like, you think you just about to just get $3,000 extra out of me and no say so. But come to find out, this is how this junk is. So I wish I would have just known a little bit more. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't have changed my decision at all to you know, to build a home at all. I'm still thankful, thank the Most High that He, you know, blessed me and my family to be able to do so. I'm not complaining or anything like that. I'm very thankful, but I just wish I would have more prepared to that. But at the end of the day, it really don't matter, because guess what? You know, the house gonna be paid off. Like I say, I would never be victim of a situation. I'll always be a victor of anything. So they can try to increase whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter, because guess what? The house about to be paid off anyways. So it really don't matter. But for the people that don't know, if you buy a home, make sure that you got all that information in place, the taxes, all that stuff, what the house gonna be. Make sure you know all that stuff going into it, so you can be prepared, you know, and not be shocked when you look in the mail and be like, who the fuck? And then also the escrow, you gotta know what's going on with the escrow, because if your escrow is short, now you gotta pay this shortage thing that increase your mortgage as well. So if you could pay extra inside your escrow, make sure you could pay extra. Make sure you do so. If you just paying what's, you know, what the mortgage company got you set up with, 9 times out of 10, when that when your taxes and stuff go up, that escrow gonna go up and it's gonna cause a shortage. So be prepared for that. Just get educated all the way around with the buying experience. Just be educated, you know, so you can be prepared when you buy your home, purchase your home, build your home, whatever the case is. So pay attention to the taxes, the escrows. If you're in the HOA community, whatever the case is, just be prepared, you know. But that's not stopping us from buying and purchasing and building, nothing like that. Still build and buy and purchase. Let's go.
Guys, look, if you don't naturally love DIYs, being handy, living an unsoft life. Like, home ownership really might not be for you. And I'm not saying don't invest in real estate. Please do. But if you don't like taking out your garbage outside in the cold and then making sure garbage cans are at the curb for pickup and mowing grass and shoveling snow and putting out salt when it's time for a some type of storm, and painting chips on your wall and replacing faucets and dealing with water damage and repairing a roof and all of the things, baby, you might be better off in an apartment. Some say a condo, I say apartment. Because in my mind, even a condo, baby, if you have something wrong with your sink, who's in charge of it? You are. And instead of getting your nails done, you're worrying about finding those replacement parts and finding someone reputable to come into your home and fix that for you. And look, I think girls can do everything that they want to do. This girl, this woman, doesn't want to be bothered with that stuff. And I think that that's okay. Like, can we normalize successful women not wanting to bear the burden of home ownership without judgment? I just want a safe, quiet, peaceful, beautiful living space in an area that I want to live in without too many responsibilities, because I know myself and I know that it's hard for me to keep up with those types of tasks. And I think that that's perfectly fine. Let's normalize that in 2024. In about a month, I'm moving from the home that I own in Washington, D.C., and I'm moving back into an apartment. And I feel like in this economy, this home, like, purchasing economy, like, it probably is confusing for a lot of people on why somebody that is a homeowner would leave the home that they own to go rent an apartment, especially with rent prices being crazy. But honestly, it's the best decision for me and my daughter, and I'm gonna go through the reasons, but honestly, I feel like the list is endless. Okay, number one, I am a single woman, a single mother, and I feel like living in a house, you have a little less security than you do when you live in a large apartment building that has like secured entry, a doorman, maybe even like security personnel on staff, cameras everywhere. And I feel very vulnerable in my home at times. And look, I have a security system, shout out ADT. Not sponsored, but go ahead and do it if you'd like. I have Ring cameras, but I just feel like it's not the same as having the extra level of security that you have living in a large building. So for instance, I do go on dates and I date people, and I feel like you can Google someone and figure out their address pretty quickly, especially when you're a homeowner. There's just like databases where that information is publicly available. And so if someone got really weird after a date, like, what are you going to do? Is somebody going to be waiting for me outside my house? Well, I don't know. And I've had really weird situations where I felt uncomfortable. And I'd drive up to my house and be like, okay, I hope that guy's not here. He's being really weird in text today. He's sounding weird. Hope he's not outside, because if he is, like, what am I going to do? So that's one. And these are kind of the things that you think about when you're a single woman that I feel like other people don't have to think about. But that is something I think about, and I think about it enough that I'm just over it. On, like, to that point, we're going to stay on that point for now, and maybe this will be like a few videos, but like, even when someone delivers something to your house, people are weird, and once they know who lives there, like, there's nothing you could do about it. You're just there, you're just on your own, and someone has your address. So I don't like the safety aspect of it, and maybe it's just where I live, but I'm not feeling that. The second thing is, like, my house was built in 1942. I mean, you can see I tried to do a little something in here, just a little something. But at the end of the day, unless you like a home that's a little bit older. If you like that aesthetic, look, if you like that aesthetic, you'll be happy. I thought that I could buy this house at a lower price and slowly update it to my liking, and I haven't been able to. It's way more time intensive than I ever anticipated, and that means that I have to find like every fixture, find a person that's reliable to come do it. When a professional comes to do something, they always uncover like 67 other things that need to be done for this one item to be fixed. And it's very overwhelming managing that when I have so much other stuff going on. And I feel like I'm tired of being responsible for this stuff. I miss having a maintenance man. Like, having maintenance is so underrated. Like, for instance, the handle on my storm door broke off due to cold weather. The mail delivery person like went to open it. It was locked. It like snapped because it's like old and it was cold. And it has taken me months to find the specific door handle that fits on this screen door. So I have not had a door handle on my screen door for months. And if I lived in a building with maintenance, something like this would have been fixed in a week. I'm getting annoyed just thinking about it, guys. Okay, so that's that. I mean, the number of things you need to upkeep when you're a homeowner is insane. I think another issue that I just really didn't want to deal with that I thought that I did was like the landscaping. So even in DC, where I have a small plot, the front yard and backyard are overwhelming. So, I mean, I have people who mow the grass, but then the people who mow the grass don't necessarily do like other maintenance on the yard. So like weeding and things like that are something that I'd have to do. And if I don't have time to do it, it gets out of control. Besides the weeding and stuff, like if you want to plant like annual flowers, like whatever, like it's just a lot of stuff to deal with. And I have like way too much going on. And I feel like I wasn't prepared when I bought this house. I think like people will tell you that it's important to be a homeowner, but they are not realistic about how much work and responsibility goes into home ownership outside of just, oh, you're building equity. I feel like I've already talked too much, but I'm happy to make like a part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on why owning isn't everything that I want it to be. And I'm like counting down the days until I get back into an apartment, even if it's going to cost more, even if other people think it's stupid, even if it's throwing away money. I'm counting down the moments.